I have a conundrum. I have a gate that needs to be fed. Previously, it was fed by a 900 megahertz link, which isn't working because the equipment failed too many times. And there's always electrical failures at that gate, so it's time to go with fiber optics. So we have fiber optics in one part of the park, and it's close enough to that gate that I could run it. So we did. We got the park to run the fiber optics 800 feet between the two locations. Now we just need to hook it up. So, solution? We already have fiber feeding that PowerBox Pro that's at that site, but we need to split that fiber so we can send it down to the gate and run that one PowerBox Pro. So, solution? A fiber box from Microtech. So the Microtech fiber box, this is a cool thing. It is basically a 5-port SFP switch. That's all. Its actual model number is, let's see here, CRS, so it's a cloud router switch, 105. So I'm just going to bridge this whole damn thing. There is no programming that I'm going to put on this thing. Very, very dumb. So it's an outdoor fiber switch, and it comes with a free Microtech RJ45 SFP, which we're going to take out of there. Yeah, I'm just going to put that into my pile. Thank you, Microtech. And I got these, by the way, from Wireless Netwear in Markham, Ontario, Canada, also known as Toronto. So the idea here is we're going to take this guy here. We're going to use a SFP jumper to connect it to the gate, to the existing PowerBox Pro, and then the fiber that's feeding that PowerBox Pro is going to go into this guy here. Now the catch is, how do we power this? So here's the stupid thing. This runs on 10 to 28 volts, okay? That's it. So 10 to 28 volts. Yeah, that's kind of useless for me because everything in the park is 48. All right, let's grab a piece of paper here because I want to draw this for you as well. So I actually have to get a DC connector to this thing to be able to power the bloody thing, right? So there's a couple of ways we can do this. Anyway, let me just do a quick drawing for you here. So the idea right now is that there is an existing PowerBox Pro, and it is 48 volts. There is a fiber coming up into it to feed it, and then from here, it's going out to a UBNT Mesh Pro, which, by the way, the Mesh Pro is an Omni. Remember that, okay? So that goes into that. So that's how everything's hooked up right now, but that's not good enough. That's not going to work. I need another piece of paper, don't I? Yeah, fuck it. I'll do it on the back of this. Okay, so now what we're going to do instead is we're going to have the fiber box, and we're going to bring the fiber in here, and then we're going to put a PowerBox Pro next to it, or the existing PowerBox Pro, okay? And this is going to be a DAC between the two. And then the Mesh Pro is going to connect it to this. Now this one here is going to go somewhere else too. We're going to have the gate and the gate camera, and like so. We're going to have another PowerBox Pro over here, or a hex PoE in this case. Okay, and this is going to be fiber here. Cool, eh? So that's what we're going to do here. But we also need power for this thing, right? So for power for this, how are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, so let me see here. So my idea, I've got an idea here, is we're going to take this tampon. You can call it a tampon, or you can call it a pocket pussy, because it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Alright, so this has PoE in on this side. This is a clever device. This is designed to use or receive 802.3 AF. So this is standard PoE, and it spits out 24 volts passive. Now, I don't want to just cut this tail off, especially when Microtech so politely give us these awesome little things. So this little thing here is a Microtech 100 meg PoE injector. All right, so you put your DC in here, and then you've got your data, and then your power and data come out here. And look, they actually try to save money by only using 4 wires on this. I mean, realistically, you can do that with these gigabit ones too, but I don't want to waste this pretty gigabit one when all I need is power, right? So the idea here is I'm just going to take this, and I could also use a barrel connector to a barrel connector, but no. Instead, I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut that off, right? I'm going to get my 2 little DC leads here. This is going to be great. Oh no, that happened. I'm not too concerned. Why am I not concerned? Because I'm not. Shut up. There we go. We'll just pretend that that was a jacket the whole time, okay? So that one can be a little bit shorter now. And this one here we can strip. Alright, so now we're going to need a barrel jack. So let me go over to the parts shelf of Doom to get my... there they are. Barrel jacks. Nice. Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to turn on my soldering iron and try not to burn my hands off with it again, because I'm an idiot. My power... I don't have power going to it right now. It's been anarchy lately. But on the bright side, at least I'm doing something useful. Oh my god, see what I'm doing? Oh, I'm making a huge mess. Where's my power cord? Why do I unplug things? I need to buy a second soldering iron that I can take places with me, or buy like a pencil torch type one. That'd be a smarter idea, wouldn't it? Alright, soldering iron, solder, personal lubricant. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to grab me a barrel connector. I think that all mine are pretty standard. They're 2.5s, right? So let's just make sure that that fits into here. And it does. It fits quite nicely. Let's just do this. So we're going to get to our little thingy here. And I'm just going to, first of all, we need to put the... Yeah, I literally almost did that. That wasn't staged. I literally almost did this before I actually got the cables on here. So let's see here. I believe that I'm recording. Good, good, good. We are recording. Awesome. I just wanted to verify that. See, I'm still playing with things because, like, for me personally, like, you guys have no idea how bad ADHD sucks. And it's not an excuse. It's real. So when I'm not busy, my motivation goes down the tubes because I'm not stimulated. I'm not working. But when I'm working, I'm busting my ass, so I'm too tired to do anything. So I'm trying to figure out ways to streamline the process of making videos where I can have, like, a couple of cameras that are always in my top down here. And then I can always easily get top downs out. And then with my other videos, my OBS captures, that one's easy because I just use my Logitech in the OBS, right? But then, of course, when I do stuff in the field, I need to be able to haul my cameras around instead of having to disconnect them from my desk and stuff, right? Get this and poke it through here. Oh, no, didn't quite work. I might have to tin the end for this to work. This is an OCD thing. I could just bend the pins too here a little bit. Let's see. I'm just trying to be tidy. Realistically, if I wasn't being such a twat, I would take put some heat shrink on here too. Heat shrink the center polio, but whatever. Ate me haters. There we go. My non-dexterous nimble sausage fingers definitely did not come in handy for that one. There we go. Okay, so we've got these guys here. I'm just going to nip off this little bit of extra wire here. This is a shite cabling job. Just make sure that there's nothing sticking out down below. There we go. Yep. All right. So now I can solder this. We're going to solder this up. This drawer doubles as a solder holder or a solder stand. I should actually, if I wasn't just such a savage, I could have just used my third hand, but I honestly don't know where it is. There we go. There's going to be lots more electronics videos coming up, folks, by the way. Because it looks like I'm going to be doing a lot more repairs soon. And I mean, like, actually, like, a lot of repairs over top of the consulting, because it looks like the repair shop is getting very busy. It means that I need to devote some time myself to it, because most of the time my business partner, Thomas, is the one who does the electronics repairs now, and I focus on the consulting. But he's getting busy enough that he needs help. All right, so that's nice and clean inside of there. So now we can just... And you know, another little trick, I should show you guys this. This is just an OCD thing. You can use a hot glue gun. Where's my hot glue sticks? There they are. There's some nice, sexy hot glue sticks. We'll take this here, and I will take my hot air gun here. Crank the shit out of it. We'll get this nice and hot. I'll move this out of the way. That's pretty good. Now we can just get inside of there just a wee tiny bit. Now this is more of a problem with the metal type connectors, really, but because if you don't put the goop on them, like if you don't put a heat shrink on them, then they will have a tendency of shorting out. So I just goobered that all the way through with some hot glue. I'm just going to pull off the excess right here, and then I'm just going to, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. I got it. There we go. Nice. Cool. That could have been more graceful by far, but anyway, whatever. This is for the purposes of demonstrations. I'm sure you guys have better skills than I do at doing this sort of thing, and better practices. So anyway, let's check this out. So this should go in here now, and then we've got our connector here. This is our power in. So this is actually unnecessary because, as you can see, there's nothing there. So what I should actually do is I should actually throw this guy back in here, because if I want to be able to manage this thing, I'm going to need an Ethernet jack. So there's that. All right. So now with this thing here, we should be able to place this inside the box still. I might also just be able to do something like this with it, curl it up underneath. You know what, for the sake of argument, let's just try to do that actually. See if I can curl this up underneath like so, because then I can rest easily knowing that I'm not a hack. Not a complete hack, I'm still a pretty hacky type person. Here we go. That might just work, yeah. I'm winging this, folks. Here we go. I'll plug this in here for management. Oh, look at that. And now, if we're lucky, the Cat 5 can go in here. So now, we can use this. Okay, so this guy here, this is the PoE in. So I'm going to plug this in, and let's see if that fits. Oh, come on. Hey, hey, we're the monkeys? Yeah, man. It looks like that actually fits. So let's see here. So we got our barrel connector in place. It's in there good and solid. Good. So now I need to knock out one of these guys, and it's the second one in. There we go. Yeah. That's a little bit jacked. I wonder if I could just go like this. Oh, there, that works. That is so tight. I don't like that at all. No. See, that might be a minor issue. I think that realistically, you can also do this in the other box and then run a jumper to it. But, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Oh my god, I wonder how many people I'm making cringe right now. Whatever. See, I'll put this idea into your head, And then somebody's going to figure out a better way to do it and be like, hey, check this out. Look what I did. There we go. And I'm going to put a little bit of tape around that. Yay. This is my liquid motivation. I'm not drinking right now, only because I'm just tired all the time. So let's see here. I'll put a little bit of white tape around that. Cool. And actually, that fits in perfectly now. Look at that. Cool. And the cool thing is once this is together, look, that's going to hold it in place. Let's take a close look at my hack job here. See? You can do better, I'm sure. Now, we don't really need to ground this thing, so grounding it through this might actually be just good enough because it's all glass and a DAC that's going to be connected to this thing, right? So I've got this YTech switch, which I used previously in one of my other videos. I use it as a bench test switch now. That's basically its only purpose is just for testing and shit like that, right? So, yeah, it's a lab device. It's set up for 48 volts. So let's plug this thing in now. And that should power, yep, it's powering up. Cool. So there we go. So now I have my power supply for the fiber box here, and I've got my uplinks so that I can troubleshoot it. You know what I just realized? Actually, God, I really am not thinking tonight. The fiber from the main switch is going to come into one of the ports on here. Correct? Right? Think about that. And then it's going to go out to the existing switch, and then it's also going to have another lead that goes out to elsewhere in the park. So realistically, no, I don't need this at all, actually. That does not need to be in there at all, because it's going to be all fiber, so I will have my data functionality for management purposes. See what I mean? I really am winging it, and I'm just on the fly here. So, I mean, in the case like this, you could actually cut this off if you really wanted to, or you could just stash it aside because it's kind of pointless. But there you go. That's really all you need because, yeah, where's my drawing? The fiber is going to come in from the main office to port 1 in here, to the first SFP, or maybe port 2. Port 3 is going to go to the existing switch, and then port 5 is going to go to the gate. Why? Because that's how I've labeled it. So this is basically all you need. That's right, I don't need that at all. I take back what I said earlier, because I'm just winging it. Sue me. No, don't sue me. That would destroy me. I'd hang myself instead. So there we go. This is basically now powered through the 48-volt device that's there, and I've got my connectivity back to the other 2 switches. Done. So that's that solution. And then what I'm doing is at the other side, this is a recycling factor. Because the gate is important, but it's not a critical device, we actually had a storm come through and it popped the PowerBox Pro that was in the actual pedestal itself. Now, we need power at the pedestal, and the router works. It's just the PoE aspect of that PowerBox Pro is toast. It still works perfectly as a switch, ironically. It's weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that over to where the fiber comes in to the main power box for that, which is just a 24-volt meanwhile that powers everything there. And then I'm going to put this hex PoE at the gate instead, at the pedestal where PoE is needed, which is going to basically replace the existing one. And then we'll move the one that has the functional data and fiber port, but non-functional PoE, over to a new position where it will pick up the fiber handoff at the power box and then shoot it over to this guy here. Pretty cool, eh? So that's the plan anyway. So I guess we'll be deploying that this week. I just need to configure it now, and I don't think I really need to do a video on configuring these guys because this is literally just going to be a switch. This fiber box is just going to be a dumb switch with basic user accounts on it, reset button disabled, and that sort of stuff. That's all. It's a very, very simple configuration, but that's what it's going to be. So that's essentially all there is to this. So short and sweet video with all the ugliness, all the warts. I'm not going to bother cutting out the corrections and stuff like that because, hey, we all screw up. The point is, we'll do one quick reiteration. These MikroTik PoE injectors work in reverse. They do. It doesn't matter which model you've got. If you've got like the big guys or the little guys, 100 meg one or the gigabit one, they work in reverse too. So you can actually technically put one of these at either end of a cable, like the gigabit one, and use it to inject power at one side and pull power off at the other side, which is good because you can put any voltage into these. These are indiscriminate. So if you've got a 12-volt camera, like a shitty 12-volt camera, like a TP-Link or something that doesn't have PoE, you could use this to power it. All you need to do is get a double-sided barrel connector like this. Double-ended barrel connector. I could think of other things that are double-ended that pretty much perform the same purpose, but biologically speaking. So you can get one of these guys, which you can get these from any of your electrical wholesalers, and you would just plug it in and then plug it into your box like so. Plug the double-ended barrel connector back into the box, and there you go. You've got it powered, right? Simple as that. But in this example here, what I showed you was I I cut off and then soldered on a barrel connector to stick on here, a male barrel connector, and we're just going to pop that in like so. We're going to utilize the input only, and we're not going to use the data functionality on it. This is simply going to be to take the 48 volts from the existing switch just to power this thing. That's all. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and everything else is going to be fiber. So this thing's now ready to deploy. I'll take my tampon and box and throw them in a box, and they can be shipped out to the respectable location where they will get installed permanently. Neat, eh? That's all she wrote, folks. On to some more electronic stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to help us out, jump on the Patreon. We've got a bunch of good content coming up. Actually, we're ramping up. It's just been a lot of adjusting and changes and things going on in the background that nobody sees. Leave any suggestions in the comments for stuff you might want to see. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll catch you later, guys.